Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Friday Night Football Blitz for another week. As we're going to be talking some Blackwater Trail football coming up in just a little bit. We'll get to some scores here tonight, and there were some good games, no doubt about it, and some tight ones. So you had the overtime game there with Delaware Valley and North Pocono, and North Pocono coming out with a win. Pittston area clinging to a 14-13 win against Wallen-Paupack. You had Wilkes-Barre area going up to Crestwood getting a win 35-7. Berwick all over Selinsgrove. You had Trail all over Holy Cross. Prep demolished Jersey Shore tonight, 51-19. Wyoming area in a romper room over Nanticoke. Dallas took care of Hazleton area. Riverside dominated Old Forge. Valley View did the same to Wyoming Valley West. Dunmore took care of Honesdale. Mid-Valley shut out Western Wayne. Hanover area 35-0 over Lake Lehman. And it was Tunkhannock 34-27 over Towanda. We got a few games going on tomorrow. We'll get to some District 4 scores. We'll get to some District 4 teams, talk a little bit District 11 as well. And we'll get to some more stuff going on. So, but we'll give it a shot and see where we're at here tonight as we'll get to some scores here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. So we give you most of the District 2 scores. And we'll try to get some of those District 4 and District 11 scores in as well as we get through the night here on the Friday Night Football Blitz, Week 9 of the high school football season. Athens took care of Muncie. How about Southern Columbia? 61-0 over a Bloomsburg team that is pretty good. So not too bad. Warrior Run continues to do great things. 56-0 over Central Columbia. You had Danville outlast Shikellamy 26-21. I told you that Scranton Prep score over Jersey Shore. Montoursville over Lewisburg. Shamokin, the Indians, 42-7 over Loyalsock. And another one here, Mount Carmel over Milton, 48-25. Wellsboro totally handled Northwest tonight. Berwick took care of Selinsgrove. Kind of mentioned that Tunkhannock score a touchdown better. Troy puts up 70 against Central Mountain. And Hollidaysburg demolished Williamsport 69-6. So there's some scores that we're hitting you with here tonight on the Friday night football blitz. We'll get to some District 11 scores tonight as well before we get to some of our interviews for this evening. And let's see, Stroudsburg took care of East Stroudsburg South in that rivalry game. So that's always a great rivalry, those two. You had Pleasant Valley and Pocono Mountain. They're still going at it. Jim Thorpe better tonight. Let's see, who else? Bethlehem Catholic. They lost to Liberty 35-20. Easton 17-14 victors over Freedom. We thought that would be a very good game. North Schuylkill took care of Lehighton 36-14 tonight. So there's Parkland all over Whitehall 53-7. That's a domination there by them. So a nice job in general by those guys tonight down there at Parkland in District 11. So we're going to get to some more scores coming up. We're going to talk to some student athletes and kind of get this thing rolling tonight here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. Some teams kind of loading up the bus, getting on the bus tonight. Other teams kind of still, traveling back to their place. So we'll continue with that here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. As we'll take a quick time out. We'll come back and we'll talk some Blackwater Trail football. We'll be right back.
The Football Blitz is brought to you by Battaglia Sporting Goods, your hometown sporting goods store since 1975. Contact us for your team sports needs, including all kinds of sports equipment, as well as screen printing and embroidery. We carry most major brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Physical Therapy Associates of Northeastern Pennsylvania, your go-to top-notch care with 3 convenient locations in Old Forge, Hamlin, and Archbald. These pros deliver skilled one-on-one sessions to help you get back in the game faster. Ready to bounce back strong? Give Physical Therapy Associates a call, 570-209-9800. Hey, sports fans, are you ready for game day? Look sharp with a fresh cut from Guy's Barbershop in Oliphant. We specialize in styles that score big. Whether you need a classic trim or a modern look, our skilled barbers have you covered. Join the winning team, Guy's Barbershop, where every haircut is a touchdown. Visit us today and show your team spirit at Guy's Barbershop in Oliphant.
Once again, Lon Hazlett joining us from Coaches Health and Fitness. Listen, I've seen you all over social media. You must be doing great things because people are getting results.
They really are, and I'm not a social media guy, which is kind of crazy. I had to have my family help me. I'm old school, pen and paper. But yeah, we've been trying to post our people and recognize our people and you know, go with our clients. But you know, we tell people all the time, you know, don't listen to me. Call somebody that's been on our program. You know, get with somebody that maybe you know. Chances are, if you're looking, there's somebody in your community. We've got a lot of people here in Northeast Pennsylvania. We actually have people all over the country due to some prior connections that we have. But yeah, we're trying to work our way out there. And again, you know, it's just been so rewarding to be able to help people in their fitness needs and their health needs, whether it be gaining weight, losing weight, getting in better shape, just living a healthier lifestyle.
Coach Lon Hazlett from Coaches Health and Fitness.
All right, we are back here on the Friday Night Football Blitzes. We're going to talk some Lackawanna Trail football as we welcome in a bunch of guys there. We got Tyler Jervis with us, Blake Stage, Isaac Ryan, so a group of guys. And let's start out with you, Tyler. Let's talk a little bit about the victory tonight against Holy Cross.
Yeah, it was a very, very dominant victory, but that's all kudos to linemen up front. I feel like we very dominated on both sides of the ball. It was a good, decisive win. Did what we had to do, and you know, it was a lot of fun. It was senior night for us, so our seniors were very happy, and you know, just it was a fun game.
I'll have all of you guys kind of describe the other guys that are with you. So, Tyler, tell us a little bit about Isaac first and the type of player he is and what it's like to be his teammate.
Yeah, so nothing but absolutely exceptional comes to mind when I think of Isaac Ryan. If that on the field, off the field, he's one of my best friends. It's a ton of fun to hang out with outside of school, and then on the football field, I mean, it's amazing. I hand him the ball, I turn around, and something good's happened. Our line's blocked amazing. Hole pops open, and then the rest is history. And you know, it's a lot of fun to watch, and you know, just a truly exceptional player, both on and off the field. I mean, it's something special. I'm glad to be able to call him my friend. And then same goes to Sid. With my other friend here, Blake Stage, we've grown up together. Even though he came from Tunkhannock, I came from Trail, but our dads are best friends, so we've known each other ever since. We could hardly walk. We were already hanging out. So just an absolutely amazing friend. Ton of fun to hang out with outside of school and on the field. Just dominant up front, leads the O-line. Between him and Luke Sevens, our two tackles. You know, there's very dominant players, and it's a lot of fun to be able to play with this one and this one. So no one better to be able to call my friends.
We're talking with Lackawanna Trail and their victory tonight over Holy Cross. Tyler, what's it been like to be around your dad, watch your brother be the quarterback? Kind of, a lot of football in that family. And I'm soaking it up here, your senior. What's that experience been like?
It's absolutely awesome. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Just going from being able to carry on the tradition. Started with my dad, and then my dad's still here, but he was a quarterback in high school, and Steven was quarterback in high school, and now I was a quarterback, and it's something special that to be able to carry on the reins and just it's kind of. Oh, I'm sorry. It's kind of sad too at the same time, just knowing that senior night was our last regular season home game. It's kind of crazy that it's already gone this fast, and yeah, but it's a lot of fun, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
Your brother, very successful as a student athlete. He ended up kind of going the student side. For you right now, decision time that's coming up in the next year here. So are you thinking you're going to play football at the next level, or do you want to kind of concentrate on the academic end?
I'll probably focus more academically, but I might play some like the intramural or club footballs there. But it's actually kind of funny. I'm going to probably follow Steven to Colgate. That's where he's at. If I had my number one choice, that's where I would go as well. So it's a lot of fun.
You can't go wrong with that education. So, we wish you guys all the best. So let's bring in Isaac Ryan right now. And Isaac, you're tearing it up there at Lackawanna Trail. So let's talk a little bit about the offensive line, guys blocking for you, and, all the efforts that you have there.
Yeah, it's awesome when you have those big boys up front doing what they do best, blocking. And yeah, they really open things up for the running backs and the rest of the team. It's awesome.
Let's talk a little bit about, 5'10", $185. So talk about, do you feel like you could be powerful, you're shifty enough, or you have enough of a dynamic where you can do whatever you need to do to kind of get the ball into the end zone?
Yeah, I'm happy where I'm at. But again, I wouldn't be able to do anything without the boys up front.
Let's talk a little bit about the effort there at Lackawanna Trail. You guys returned 6 starters on both sides of the ball, continue with great records every year, 11-2. You guys are coming off of. Do you feel like every year now you guys are buying in and it's just, become a real good tradition with Coach Jervis?
Yeah, definitely. Every year we have the same goal to go far, hopefully end up winning the state championship. So we come back, we just do what we do. We work hard in the off season and during the season. So.
How about guys on this team, Isaac, that you feel have stepped up that maybe aren't getting that much recognition on this squad this year?
Well, the seniors, they're doing their best leading the team, and really the underclassmen this year, they've stepped up a lot. We have underclassmen at inside backer, fullback, outside backer, and corner. So they're doing good this year.
Tell us a little bit about your family, Isaac. What's it like, who's in your corner rooting you on and kind of saying, hey, you could do this?
Yeah, my family gives a lot of support throughout the season and off season, so I can't thank them enough for everything they've done. Bring the RV to the football games, get us pumped up before the games, so we really appreciate them.
Isaac Ryan from Lackawanna Trail, victorious over your Holy Cross night. Isaac, let's talk about your future. What are you focused on, what you may do going forward?
I mean, if I could find the right fit for a college, then I'll go there. But other than that, whatever, really just what fits me best is where I'm going to end up.
How about your description of Tyler and Blake before we get to Blake? Tell us a little bit about both of those guys and how you feel about both of them.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't be both true leaders. They have a huge impact on the team.
All right, let's bring in the best name here, Blake Stage. And he's a big guy. You don't want to fool around with him. 6'3", 245 pounds. Blake, let's talk a little bit about how you play and the guys around you on that line there at Lackawanna Trail.
Our line, we play with guys. We use our strength that we've gotten in the weight room, and we just use our big bodies, big frames to move people and create holes for Isaac. It's just, we know what we have to do, and we do it at the best level that we can.
Let's talk about some of those other guys around you. Who's playing well on that offensive line, defensive line for Trail?
Obviously our seniors, Colin Owens and Lucas Evans are doing their part, doing a great job at leading our O-line. Tony Palucci is doing an amazing job just at guard, being able to pull and kick and lead and just manhandle people. And Cooper's doing a great job snapping the ball, getting it to Tyler, and controlling the line just like the rest of us.
Let's talk about the strength up front for you guys. You're a small school, but you have some strong guys. You guys kind of worked out that athletic facility there, which is nice at Lackawanna Trail, long time coming. So what's it been like for you guys?
We've all grown up together, getting big and strong, Since we were kids, we've all been playing ball together, and just so happens all of us nice and big up front and we work so well together. It just helps us so much.
Blake Stage with us from Lackawanna Trail, victorious over Holy Cross. Let's talk about your family. Tell us about who's in your corner.
I'd love the support from my mom. She's always there in the stands cheering me on. And then my dad always letting me know how I do. he's just an amazing coach. Sometimes I can hear him from all the way up in the stands, but it's just how much he loves us and how much he wants us to be good at the game.
Let's talk a little bit about your future endeavors. What are you looking to do, Blake?
I would like to continue my track career. Probably a D3 school. I'm looking at one of the Penn State campuses and Alfred State to continue my career as a mechanical engineer in technology.
Next week, you guys have one more game. It's Riverside. Talk a little bit about what you're looking forward to with that game.
Riverside's going to be a big challenge for us. They've got a lot of good players, but we have a good team, and it's going to be a battle. We're gonna do the best we can.
Always humble, you guys there at Trail. You guys are grinders, hard workers, blue collar effort. Blake Stage, Tyler Jervis, and of course Isaac Ryan. We appreciate your time, guys. I know you want to have some fun with the guys and your friends tonight. So thanks for taking some time out and meet with us. Okay.
Thank you. Noah.
Okay. Have a good night. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Talk some smoking football.
Visit our friends at our Carol and Janelle and the Takeaway Kitchen, home of the famous Old Forge Pizza in the pizza capital of the world at 443 South Main Street. In business since 1962. 570-457-5555. You can visit them online at ourcarolandjanelle.com and the famous Takeaway Kitchen. Dr. Walt Delgadio, urologist at Wayne Memorial Hospital, practicing in the Wyoming Valley since 2002, treating all disorders of the urinary system, including the bladder, kidneys, and prostate. Urinary issues, kidney stones, cancers of the urinary tract, urinary infections, and routine prostate checks. Treating men, women, and children. Offices in Wilkes-Barre, Honesdale, and Susquehanna. Immediate appointments available. 570-266-8543. Dr. Walt Delgadio, urologist from Wayne Memorial Hospital. Athletic Republic with 2 locations in Dallas and Moosic. Sports performance training for athletes. Gain an advantage by getting faster, stronger, more agile, and more powerful. Fitness classes for active adults. Functional, full body fitness that enables you to get more out of life. So visit our sports performance training in Moosic at 3356 Bernie Avenue and in Dallas at 220 East Center Hill Road. For Moosic, call 570-346-2929. And in Dallas, 570-675-2600. Sports performance training for athletes at Athletic Republic with Dallas and Moosic locations. And in the back mountain, Melissa Walter, located in 1934 Memorial Highway in Shavertown. Call Melissa at 570-675-6960.
All right, back here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. Always available to us, and we appreciate his time. He's a busy guy, but all he does is win right now down there in smoking. Head coach Mark Percy. Mark, a victory again tonight, and you guys just know what you're doing. You have a great team. Talk a little bit about tonight's matchup and getting a win there.
Yeah, I don't think we played our best football tonight. But we're starting to nitpick, which is a good. Truly pick out on things that most people would overlook to help us continue to take the next step forward in our program.
You guys are tended to dominate. Let's talk about this Loyal Sock team. They have some quality athletes, well coached, and talk about being able to beat them in the fashion you guys did.
Yeah, unfortunately, they were pretty banged up tonight. They had a pretty good lineup. Unfortunately, they didn't play. I think they were down 5 starters, but the message to the team was we don't care what the man across from us. We're trying to control. We're trying to line of scrimmage. We're trying to let athletes be athletes, and that seems to be a good success and a good.
But as far as your health at Shamokin there, and guys staying healthy.
Yeah, we are full health. When your first 9 games, but it's also concerning. Played deep into the fourth quarter side of 1 or 2 football games this year. So I try to challenge the kids at practice, to get them in shape. But we're looking forward to postseason play. We're looking forward to Mount Carmel, so our kids can play a little bit more and showcase what we can do.
Let's talk a little bit about Mount Carmel and what that's like. It's a matchup maybe like no other.
Yeah, I saw something on. I don't know if it was from Max Preps today, but the Shamokin Mount Carmel rivalry was listed as the premier rivalry in the state of Pennsylvania. And unless you've come to Shamokin or Mount Carmel to experience it, it's hard to put into words. What it means for both communities. We showed up on our bus last year at 4:30 in Mount Carmel, and the line was approximately 2 blocks deep. It was heading towards Matucci's at 4:30 to get into the stadium. So it means something to our community, both communities at that. I spent some time coaching at Mount Carmel with Coach Carm and Coach Dara. So I've had the unique experience of seeing both sides of it.
You guys will have that ability to host next week against Mount Carmel. That's always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Expectation-wise, you're thinking a couple thousand there at Shamokin, or a little bit more than that?
Yeah, we're expecting probably 6,000 plus people at the game next week. We know our fans are going to pack the stands. We're hoping Mount Carmel brings their community as well.
Mark, as always, we appreciate any time you could give us like you did again tonight. Yep. And Johnny and I are big fans of those Smoking Indians, so you guys keep the train rolling, okay?
Thank you for having me.
All right, Mark Persing, Shamokin. We'll be right back.
The Football Blitz is brought to you by Alberigi Insurance. Alberigi Insurance Agency proudly services all your insurance needs for over 60 years. Located at 301 Church Street in Jessup. Call us today for a no-obligation quote for home, auto, recreational vehicles, boats, and business insurance. The Alberigi Insurance Agency, 570-489-6348. Tim Wagner's Sports Corner, your spot for all your MLB, NFL, and NCAA clothing and accessory needs. Come see what Tim carries for every Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees and Giants, Philadelphia Phillies, Eagles, Notre Dame, and Syracuse fan, to name a few. Tim Wagner's also specializes in all your screen printing and embroidery needs. If you're on Sanderson Street in Scranton, you'll need to stop and shop at Tim Wagner's Sports Corner. Fiorelli and Associates, LLC, is a local public accounting firm offering full-service individual and business income tax preparation and general accounting services, including compilations, reviews, and audits. Contact Michael T. Fiorelli, CPA, at 570-383-0782 for any of your individual business income tax or accounting needs. Fiorelli and Associates, Michael T. Fiorelli, CPA. The Football Blitz is brought to you by the Maddock Agency. Since 1972, the Maddock Agency has been serving northeastern Pennsylvania for home, auto, and life. The Maddock Agency prides itself on being an independently owned agency. When you need help, you could talk with the staff member who lives and works right here in Northeast PA. The Maddock Agency has stayed true to its local, loyal roots. That's what our company was founded on more than 50 years ago. Call Dave Maddock and his team today. 570-586-3790. Use Savage Chiropractic. Takes pride in always doing a full evaluation on all patients, including x-rays, to evaluate patients to keep them safe and to determine the best care for their specific needs. Then they use modern techniques to get patients better, faster, and keep them feeling great with maintenance care options after they're pain-free. Along with chiropractic care, they are one of the only offices here in Northeast PA that offers both Class 4 cold laser to speed up the healing process and massage therapy and bodywork to aid in muscle repair and rehabilitation. And Northeast Outdoor Services, a locally run and operated company who offers a wide range of services but specializes in all forms of hardscape, concrete work, along with fiberglass pools and spas. Check us out on Facebook or visit our website at northeastoutdoorservices.com. Northeast Outdoor Services. All right, we're back here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. Appreciate you joining us once again. We're waiting to hear back from a couple of coaches and players. It's good to check out some of our coaches and some of our players from tonight's game. Shamokin victorious. I'll have Mount Carmel at home next week, and as Persing said, 6,000 plus expected to show up next week. So if you're doing nothing, you're like, hey, let me go check out a game. If you haven't experienced Shamokin Mount Carmel,
that is one you definitely want to put on your list. Next Friday night at Shamokin. I used to love the pierogies at Shamokin Stand, man. They were monsters, and they were made by like this fish company locally. They were really good. So that's a hot item there at Shamokin, that's for sure. Next week locally, you got Trail in Riverside. That's going to be a heck of a matchup next week. Maybe Pittston at Wyoming area could be pretty darn big as well. And North Pocono at Scranton Prep. After what Scranton Prep did this week to Jersey Shore, you have to kind of turn your head and say, who's going to be favored in that North Pocono Scranton Prep game? So that should be very interesting next week. So those are the highlights of the big ones next week. Looking at the schedule next week, let's see. Anything else that sticks out? You got Paupack and Valley View. That might be close. Paupack just 1 point shy tonight. You got Lake Lehman at Dallas, always a rivalry. Dallas will be heavily favored in that one after Dallas gets the win against Hazleton area. And looks like you're going to get another Thursday night game next week. Del Val, that came up short to North Pocono. They'll take on Scranton. And Mid-Valley Lakeland game next week could be interesting as well, matchup-wise, between those two teams. So, that's one that you want to look at. Tomorrow, you've got Holy Redeemer will take on Columbia Montour Votech. That'll be on the road for Redeemer. Carbondale will head to Susquehanna. And the final game is Montrose at Renaissance Academy. Renaissance Academy doesn't have a win this year. So we'll see what happens for Montrose tomorrow. But we kind of went over the scores tonight in District 2 and the job that, the area teams did. So just some really gritty efforts tonight by a lot of teams, including Pittston area, who got that 14-13 victory tonight over Wallen-Paupack. So, interesting for them that, a tight game, tough game. But sometimes, you know what? There's a lot of attention. There's a lot of things going on. And, it's a long trip out there, So just trying to reach out to a couple more coaches here and, throw out some feelers just to see who could be available. I think, Hanover kind of has the long mountainous trip, trying to get a hold of Coach Richardson. And it was a big victory for them. Of course, they know that Greg Dolan busy there at home against Delaware Valley. That was a very big victory for North Pocono to do that in the fashion they did. It took overtime for them to get the win. Dunmore's driving back from Honesdale. So I know Coach McHale's going to keep us posted if he's able to get done. So, we're going to try to hook up with Coach Russick. He's probably 5 to 10 minutes out. So we'll hook up with him in just a little bit, but we'll take another timeout. We'll come back here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. We'll be right back.
In 1946, attorney Joseph Saporito returned from World War II and started his law practice. 79 years later, his legacy lives on. Attorneys Sam Falcone, Bill Watt, Mara Armazzani, and Joseph Saporito III have continued with the same principles. Honest work, dedication to their clients, and a proven record of courtroom success. Saporito, Falcone, and Watt, a general law practice serving all your legal needs. Check them out online at falconewattlaw.com or call 570-654-4643. Saporito, Falcone, and Watt, 48 South Main Street, Pittston. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA, SIPC. Strategic Planning Associates, LLC. Thomas J. Fiorelli, independent insurance and financial consultant. Big city expectations with small town personalized service and professional advice. Investments, insurance, and financial planning. Need financial guidance? Call Tom Fiorelli, Certified Financial Planner, at 570-650-4558. Office is located at 1548 Main Street, Peckville, Pennsylvania, 18452. Mesco Glass. Since the founding of our family business in 1930, Mesco Glass has served Northeast Pennsylvania as the area's leading full-service glass company. In those 94 years, we've expanded to 5 locations. Mesco knows glass, auto, home, and commercial. That's what we've done for 94 years. Call Mesco, 1-800-982-4055. McCarthy Tire Service, celebrating over 97 years, trusted to keep America rolling. McCarthy Tire Service has been there for generations and family for the highest quality in tire service and scheduled maintenance. With over 70 locations along the East Coast, our family is growing with yours. We're one of the top independent retailer dealers in the United States. You can visit us at any of our service centers in Wilkes-Barre, Hazleton, and Williamsport. Service your vehicle with a family you can trust. Make your family a part of the next generation of McCarthy Tire Service. Visit us on the web at mccarthytire.com. Manuka Subaru, it's all we do. Open Monday through Thursday from 9 to 7. Fridays 9 to 5 and Saturdays 9 to 1. Located at 4141 Bernie Ave in Moosic. The Ascent, Forester, Crosstrek, Legacy, and Impreza. You can call them toll-free, 888-903-8015, or visit them online, manukasubaru.com. For Manuka Subaru, it's all we do. In Dunmore, talk to Jen Ricky Abeloff. She's located at 115 West Drinker Street in Dunmore, 570-342-9626. Visit Detailed Assets Auto Spa, located on 295 South River Street in Plains, located across from Bakery Delight. For premier auto detailing services in the area, choose Detailed Assets Auto Spa. They offer full rejuvenation enhancement, ceramic coating, wheel coating, glass coating, and more. 570-899-2254. Brian Frisbee will take care of your car. 570-899-2254 for Detailed Assets Auto Spa.
Back here in the Friday Night Football Blitz, John Mendola with you. Appreciate you joining us here. We got a few coaches, a few players are going to be coming in here in the next 10 to 15 minutes here. So we're just kind of waiting on some long trips back. So Dunmore's kind of just getting back into town. Lakeland's kind of just getting up to the top of the mountain there. So there's a couple of coaches that we're working out some details with some players and different things there. So we got some interviews on the way here. Just trying to talk about some of the games from earlier tonight, as again, we'll get to a lot of these District 2 scores. If you're just joining us here in the Friday Night Football Blitz, we'll go over those scores again with you. Berwick, Romper Room, Sealands Grove tonight. Delaware Valley Falls and North Pocono in overtime. Dunmore rushed for over 500 yards and took care of Honesdale tonight, 50-8. How about Hanover area? They shut out the Lake Lehman Black Knights 35-0. You had Trail dispose of Holy Cross. We talked with the Trail guys earlier. Lakeland 35-14 over West. And Old Forge goes down to Riverside. You had Pittston area and Wallapawpack in a nail biter. And one, a tight game there. And, Pittston able to pull that one out. Scranton Prep really took care of Jersey Shore. Really surprised at that score, 51-19. Valley View all over Wyoming Valley West. Tunkhannock took on Towanda. And that ended up being a touchdown affair between those two. So very, very tight between those two squads. So that's kind of what we got going on. And we'll get some lined up. It looks like we got Coach Richardson, going to join us from Hanover area. They're just kind of pulling in there. So it's a matter of timing a lot of times. And it just so happens that a lot of road teams got the victories tonight. When you try to hook up with the coaches and the players from these squads. We talked a little bit about next week's schedule and how that looks, and then of course the PIAA standings for District 2 and how that looks, the power rankings. So that'll be interesting to kind of see how that shakes out. Especially, that they had to make some adjustments with that. So right now, you got Trail in Single A. They're at 8-1 at this time. You got Marion Catholic and Tri Valley there. In 2A, you got Lakeland at 8-1, Riverside at 8-1. Riverside next week against Trail. That'll be, obviously a monstrous game. And then Lakeland will have Mid Valley next week. You got Dunmore that's sitting there at 6-3, and that's 2A. We'll get over to 3A. You got Berwick and Wyoming area. Berwick's 9-0. Wyoming area is 8-1. Wyoming area will have Pittston next week. So that'll be, a monstrous affair. You got Scranton Prep there at 5-4, and Hanover at 5-4, and Mid Valley at 4-5. So that that's going to be a heck of a shakeout. There's no doubt about it on the way that could potentially work. No doubt about it. So let's welcome in. We get Pittston area coach Paul Russick joining us right now. Paul, not easy to kind of get through all the media stuff. You guys have had a tremendous amount of attention there at Pittston this year, and well deserving. It's been a heck of a year for you guys. But then you got to go out and play football, and every week everybody's going to give you guys your best, and so forth. You're going to give the other team their best. So talk about finding a way to get it done tonight.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, credit to Juan Paulpak. Coach Naraki, he's done a great job, and those guys are well prepared. And on our side of things, I'm not going to lie to you. This was a tough week for me, knowing what Juan Paulpak had playing in the last 5 years or so, and knowing what we have ahead of us next week with a team that we're still learning how to do some things, and but we're happy to come on top and finish off.
And knowing, no team I don't think is looking ahead. You say that, but in the end, you have Wyoming area next week, the biggest game of the year every year from Pittston area and Wyoming area. Talk about health-wise. Are you guys going to be okay health-wise getting into next week's game?
Oh yeah, I mean we're healthy. We're actually getting guys back. You're starting to see them a little bit the last 2 weeks. Obviously, Brody and Lucas have done a lot of stuff for us offensively, but Jude Ferrantino, who has been out for a couple of weeks, and Caden Bailey, who's been out for a couple of weeks. They're dynamic in the run game, and they're coming back. And again, we didn't have a whole lot of possessions here tonight offensively for us, so it was hard to get some of those guys involved. So it was good to see kind of we're still healthy next week, I guess, at the end of the day.
I know it's hard, hey, you're just coming off a win. It's Wall and Paulpak, you eke it out, you find a way. But what do you know about Wyoming area? Like, what do you and your coaching staff talk about? Like, okay, hey, when we get to Wyoming area, we know we're going to have this or that. What worries you about the Warriors other than having a solid program and good coaching and some really good athletes? What's the scouting report on WA?
Yeah, I mean, they're the model of consistency. I think we all know that. Like they've been doing what they've done for such a long time, and Coach Spencer's been there for a long time, and and some of his coaches have been there for so long. Like you have an idea what they're going to do, and this week was tough. Like I told you, this week was tough for us because the stuff, everything starts to come out this week, for that game, and in the back of your head, like we're going to Wall and Paulpak, and the focus is on Wall and Paulpak, and you're talking to the kids about that, but at the same time, you got interviews coming up because what Wyoming area has entailed, and They're going to be great up front. That's where they always started. They're going to want to find ways of running the football. They have a dynamic wide receiver. They have a quarterback who can run. They do what they do best each and every week. And the good thing for our side and the good thing for their side is you don't have to pump the kids up. Like, this is a big one, and obviously for me, first time being back here since 2006. In this game, I'm excited about it. But and I think it's great for this community. You have two teams who are going to be 8-1, meeting over there, and it should be a really great football game this upcoming week.
Well, Paul, we appreciate your time. Congratulations. And, we'll see you next week, Wyoming area. All right.
Excited. Can't wait for it.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Pittston area victorious tonight by a point over Wallen-Paupack. We got a couple guys that are waiting here, and Stan Yanoski and Eric Richardson. Let's get Coach Richardson real quick. I know Coach Yanoski from Mid-Valley is waiting as well. And Eric, you're kind of excited there coming back from the road after the victory against Lake Lehman. Talk about getting it done and all those turnovers. You guys really were able to force some turnovers.
Yeah, we did. We kind of knew what they were going to do there, and try to run the ball and control the clock, and try to just get the ball to Skip Palace, and that's what they are. They're 3 yards and a ball of dust. We knew that coming into it. The kids knew it. We put some situations in place. See you, boys. Everybody's walking out now, so I'm sorry. And they responded. They responded and did everything they needed to do. They had a good week of practice, and it's a big win for us. It's a big win for our program. It's just not a big win for this season, but it's a big win moving forward.
Let's talk a little bit about this game's a coin flipper going in. Like, who knows who's going to win, Lehman or Hanover? How did you guys do it decisively against the Black Knights?
Yeah, we kind of just responded. We had a couple hiccups throughout the season. Berwick and Wyoming area were tough for us, but every other game, either we came and we took care of business, or we fought, and we got better every week. In the second half of the season here, we talked about trying to finish 4-1, and doing that with Wyoming area being a tough game for us. So we're forming an identity. We're forming a team. We're trying to. The kids starting to believe in themselves. Years and years and years of losing. These seniors that are here now, they had a rough career here at Hanover, and there's some doubt. And you never say you want to get used to losing, but it was kind of okay sometimes, and they were used to it. So now with the wins, they're buying in, and I think that's what's happening. I think that we're holy. They're like, hey, it's look at us, look at us. We can do some stuff here. Start believing in themselves and believing what we're trying to teach. And they were seeing good things. And yeah, I thought this was a coin flip too. I knew what they were going to do. I thought they were going to try to control that clock and take it out of our hands. Our offense has been pretty proficient. We're pretty balanced. But sometimes these kids and the way they came up, great job. The way they came up there and onto that black turf. It was their senior night. Skip Palace used to play for us. There's some of that relationships. We're still friendships there. I coached some of their coaches, across the way a long time ago. So we had that feel, and did I expect 35-0? No, I didn't. But I tell you what, these kids, man, I'm so proud of them.
You're gonna sleep. You're gonna sleep well tonight, Eric.
Yeah, I am.
Well, hey,
I didn't know I thought maybe we might have been too young and we weren't ready for this experience because we're so young. And can we step up? And man, did they step up? They stepped up. And that's a good team over there. That's a well-coached team at Lake Lehman. So thank you, John. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hanover victorious. Let's jump over to Stan Yanoski, who's kindly joining us. I know he's out at a restaurant, and we appreciate him kind of taking some time to join us tonight here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. Stan, congratulations on the win over Western Wayne. We'll get to your player there in a second, but talk a little bit about tonight's victory.
Yeah, so we had a great game with them last year, and I knew they're very young, so we were kind of happy with our game plan, both sides of the ball against them, and the kids went out and executed very well tonight.
Let's talk a little bit about a play from your guys and some of that leadership you have. That Brett Yanoski guy, he's pretty darn good, so talk a little bit about how he's playing for you.
Yeah, I think he knows the offense better than me. I called a couple plays, and he had to correct me because I got something wrong, and he just it's like having a coach out on the field. But we were very balanced tonight. Like you said, Mason went over 1,000 yards on a 95-yard run, and Brett did that last week. So we're comfortable where we're at. We're going up to Lakeland next week, and we're going to see what happens.
Tell us a little about Mason Vanansky. Went over 1,000 yards in the job that he's been doing.
Yeah, well, we didn't expect, Jacob Lesher was Player of the Year. We get that. And Mason, in his injuries last year, Mason had over 500 yards rushing. So we didn't expect a huge drop-off. We did graduate a lot of guys, but he's really stepped up. He's stayed healthy. He doesn't play defense for us. So he's fresh and he carries the load. He has a lot of carries, and he broke a big 95-yarder to break the record. Not the record, but to get over 1,000. And he's just been a workhorse.
Do you have either Brett or Mason with you now?
He's sitting right here.
All right. Mason, welcome into the show. You and I had talked before the year started this year, back in August. Talk about your role this year and getting over that 1,000-yard mark. It's not as important as the wins. I'm sure you're one of those humble guys that cares more about the wins, but it's got to feel good to know that offensive line and your work, and you're able to accomplish that.
Yeah, obviously it's a great feeling. Big accomplishment, not only for me, myself, but for the five up front. Really shows the work that we put in.
Mason Vanansky is with us here. And again, he's a Mid-Valley senior. Mason, talk about what you're looking forward to here next week. It's a huge game. It's Lakeland, and that's going to have a lot of, decision-making and what happens for the next step.
Yeah, obviously we need a huge week. We really got to step up. Really looking forward to making the playoffs, so we really just got to play our tails off next week, give it everything we got.
How about credit to other guys on this squad this year, whether it was tonight or throughout the year, that maybe are kind of flying under the radar a bit? Who would you like to give some shout-outs to there for the Spartans?
I mean, tonight Aiden Wilson has some really good catches, really good yards after breaking tackles. He really stepped up tonight and showed what he could do.
Well, Mason, congratulations on the win with you and Coach Janoski. I know you guys are at a restaurant. You're trying to eat some food, enjoy yourself, but we appreciate you taking some time out and joining us tonight.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Okay, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here in the Friday Night Football Blitz.
The Football Blitz is brought to you by Battaglia Sporting Goods, your hometown sporting goods store since 1975. Contact us for your team sports needs, including all kinds of sports equipment, as well as screen printing and embroidery. We carry most major brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Physical Therapy Associates of Northeastern Pennsylvania, your go-to top-notch care with 3 convenient locations in Old Forge, Hamlin, and Archbald. These pros deliver skilled one-on-one sessions to help you get back in the game faster. Ready to bounce back strong? Give Physical Therapy Associates a call. 570-209-9800.
Hey, sports fans, are you ready for game day? Look sharp with a fresh cut from Guy's Barbershop in Oliphant. We specialize in styles that score big. Whether you need a classic trim or a modern look, our skilled barbers have you covered. Join the winning team, Guy's Barbershop, where every haircut is a touchdown. Visit us today and show your team spirit at Guy's Barbershop in Oliphant. Once again, Lon Hazlett joining us from Coaches Health and Fitness. Listen, I've seen you all over social media. You must be doing great things because people are getting results.
They really are, and I'm not a social media guy, which is kind of crazy. I had to have my family help me. I'm old school, pen and paper. But yeah, we've been trying to post our people and recognize our people and go with our clients. But we tell people all the time, don't listen to me. Call somebody that's been on our program. Get with somebody that maybe chances are if you're looking, there's somebody in your community. We've got a lot of people here in Northeast Pennsylvania. We actually have people all over the country due to some prior connections that we have. But yeah, we're trying to work our way out there. And again, it's just been so rewarding to be able to help people in their fitness needs and their health needs, whether it be gaining weight, losing weight, getting in better shape, just living a healthier lifestyle.
Coach Lon Hazlett from Coaches Health and Fitness.
Okay, we're back here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. We lost Braden Shigo. He's supposed to be coming back to us here in a second. He'll be right with us. He's been patient, so appreciate Braden's patience. Braden, welcome back into the show here. The Dunmore Bucks doing a good job. And Braden, thanks for your time. I know I've been holding you up there a little bit. You probably want to go get something to eat and enjoy yourself. But talk about 500 yards against Honesdale. That's a heck of a job by this offense.
We know what we had to do coming into the game. We remember they pull one on us, and this whole week, our mentality going into this game. Remember, what they did to us last year, and then going up to their field this week on their senior night, we're ready to play.
6 foot, 255 pounds. Let's talk a little bit about the weight room for you. What's that been like? And, working with the other guys on the offensive and defensive lines there at Dunmore.
Yeah, we started our weightlifting program, I think, after the district championship last year. We used that loss championship and our record last year as motivation in the weight room. And it's been big. We've been in there during the winter, the spring, summer, and we're still in there in the fall. But yeah, we had a lot of people returning from last year, and a lot of people getting better.
So as much as there's some senior leadership, there's also some younger, talented guys there at Dunmore. Is it a nice blend of upperclassmen and guys that are a little bit younger, and you guys are finding your way here as the season moves on?
Yeah, it is. We had a bunch of people returning this year from last year, which is nice because the year before we didn't have too many. So we're returning some experience this year, and then thankfully we will be returning more experience next year as well, which is good to see.
Let's talk a little bit about, you guys, and, you finish the road kind of on the road up in the mountains. Honesdale next week will be Western Wayne. What are you looking forward to against Western Wayne next week?
Yeah, well, we have a little bit of a winning streak going right now, which is nice to see. We didn't 3 losses. We weren't planning to have that this year, but we're just trying to finish off the season 7-3, and then obviously moving into playoffs. But we're taking every game right now as if it is a playoff game, and we're getting ready for the district playoffs and then eventually state playoffs.
How about some fun this weekend? Family time, friend time. Braden Chaga, what are you going to be doing this weekend? You watch some college football tomorrow?
Yeah, I like waking up. We'll be in here, a little treatment, a little lift, film tomorrow morning, and then hopefully going home, watch some college football, just relax, get off my feet a little bit, and then Sunday, some NFL. Nice weekend of football.
All right, Braden, congratulations on the win. Appreciate your time. Keep doing good things there at Dunmore, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Braden Chago there from the Dunmore Bucks here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. We're going to now move on to our next guest, and Dave Pawarchik is going to join us here, the Lakeland head football coach. And Dave, long bus ride home there from West Scranton. You guys get the win. You guys now improve to 8-1. Heck of a year for the Chiefs. Talk about, going down, taking the game seriously, and guys finding the way to get it done there against the Invaders.
Yeah, we came out a little slow offensively tonight, but our kids persevered, made some adjustments at halftime. Credit to West Scranton. They did a really good job tonight of confusing our O-line a little bit and sending some things at us that we haven't seen yet, which is surprising because, with the offense that we run, I feel like we see all these different types of blitzes every week. But they got us on a couple of things. We made some adjustments and, took care of business the second half.
Guys like Rocco Spataro making plays for you all year. Talk a little bit about, his presence and job he's doing.
Rocco is just a great kid on and off the field. Very high academic kid. A multiple sport athlete, throws the javelin. We'll compete for a district championship in the javelin this year. But isn't a big kid. And he works really hard for everything. Just watching him on the field and watching his growth over the last 2 years has been really great. And it says something about a kid when he is he's named a captain by his peers as a sophomore. So kudos to him. He's got a lot of his teammates' respect. But great kid, great family.
Sitting at 8-1, would you say the biggest question mark coming into the year was the line play for Lakeland? Like, man, these guys have stepped up for us this season.
Absolutely. That was our biggest question mark coming in. We knew we had we like to call them ball handlers, not skill kids. We knew we had those kids. We just didn't know what we were going to have up front, and we all know that it starts up front. Without those kids, you're not going to be that good if your line's not playing good. So we asked a couple of kids to make some moves. A couple of tight ends, and they did it. Voluntarily, not a problem. With the whole goal of everybody just wants to win. So.
Let's talk a little bit.
It seems to be working out for us.
Let's talk a little bit about Mid-Valley because they're feeling good after a big win against Western Wayne. That's a heck of a matchup next week. And, you would say you're the favorite against Mid-Valley, but you never know. I mean, the Spartans are playing some good football at this time of the year, and that could be a heck of a battle.
Absolutely. And it's kind of turned into a little bit of a rivalry over the last couple of years. Coach Janoski does a nice job with his team down there. He's always got a quality run game. And he's got skill kids, and his offensive line is still pretty big. There's a lot on the line next week. We tie, if they beat us, we tie for the division, and so that's a little motivation there. And like I said, it's turned into a little bit of a rivalry. So we want to put our best foot forward, and our kids are still hungry. We're not settling for just being 8-2 or.
Yeah, and Riverside, of course, and Trail next week will have implications next week as well. But obviously, you guys got to take care of your business. Dave, talk a little bit about this weekend for you. Do you guys get together? I know you do some yoga. The guys do yoga. Is it a Saturday thing, a Sunday thing? What's going on with the team this weekend?
So the team will get together tomorrow morning, and we'll do some yoga, some light lifting, and then some jogging, stretching out. Just get the kids. Get that lactic acid from tonight out. And it gives us another day of lifting. We try to get the kids out of there by, 10 o'clock, let them go home, be kids. And then we won't ask the kids, we won't see them again until Monday. And then as coaches, we'll come in on Sunday morning and we'll break down Mid-Valley film and go through, what we think we need to do and get done for the week.
Well, Dave, you're always a gentleman and trying. You're always efforting to join us. You might be our number one guest this year, the Lakeland Chiefs. But we appreciate you making time for us, and congratulations on a heck of a year there for you guys.
Thank you, and thanks for having us.
Okay, the Lakeland Chiefs now 8-1. Big game next week. Dave Pewarczyk here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right. So, hey, it's a heck of a season, and these teams are stepping up and playing week in and week out. So good stuff going on, that's for sure. You look at Berwick and the job that they have done this year. They're 9-0, and I think some question marks about was Lakeland going to be this good? That offensive line, as he said, defensive line, they've stepped up. They had some of those guys that could make plays for them. Berwick, again, a team that people might not have thought would be 9-0 at this point, but they are dominating teams. And that North Pocono squad finds a way to get it done. I think people thought it's going to be a great year for North Pocono. Would they be undefeated? Delaware Valley gave them everything they can handle. And you got Pittston sitting at 8-1 in 5A. Abington Heights at 7-2, and Delaware Valley is 4-5. Over in 6A, you got Wilkes-Barre at 6-3, Williamsport 4-5. Those two will go against each other next week. Williamsport dominated tonight. I think it was Hollidaysburg. And then Wilkes-Barre got the victory on the mountain up at Mountaintop. 2 words or one, not sure. But it was a good matchup there for the Wolfpack, who, again, you talked to Jay Cow, who set the record there for the Wolfpack as a quarterback, a 4-year starter, and said, hey, have you guys played your best football yet? And he told me no, and I agreed. I didn't see them last week against Valley West, where I think the Spartans were overmatched. I didn't see them tonight against Crestwood, but I will see them next week against the Williamsport Millionaires. But the games I have seen of the Wolfpack, they were not playing to their potential this year. So, they have some of that ability, that they could get the job done. Tomorrow, you got a few games. You got 3 games. You got Redeemer taking on Columbia Montour Votech. You got Carbondale they're over at Susquehanna, and then Montrose is playing that Renaissance Academy team. So those are the matchups there for tomorrow. So we appreciate you joining us here in the Friday Night Football Blitz. Got to talk with Mark Persing and a little Dunmore Buck. So we got a good mix of different players. Lackawanna Trail, Mid-Valley, and Coach Janoski out getting something to eat with his son, and then Mason Banansky. So appreciate everybody joining us, and we appreciate you joining us here tonight and every Friday night here during football season. It is the Friday Night Football Blitz. I'm John Mendola. Hope you enjoy your family and enjoy some football and some other sports this weekend.